Lionel Messi was said to have signed a deal to play soccer in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was trying to build up the soccer league. But he turned him down.
Messi had $400 million a year on the table from Saudi, but he said no. Instead, he picked Miami and flipped the switch of a mediocre MLS team, turning it into the hottest club on earth. It was more than a transfer. This was a hijack. They went from nobodies to sold-out stadiums, from Miami nights to TikTok feeds, and it was clear that Messi had signed for a new football culture. The Messimania effect has hit, and it is real. Stick around, and let's break down how he flipped football. There is no doubt that Lionel Messi now has everybody and their mamas loving Inter Miami since he moved to the United States, with a debut that comes straight out of a movie.
Messi!
And non-stop breathtaking performances from the GOAT,
In the fray, back to Messi! Ball to Messi! To Messi!
weekdays and weekends. It's easy to see why David Beckham's club is getting all this love from both regular and famous folks. It's the Messi magic. But what was life like for this Miami football team before Messi showed up? Well, you could say Inter Miami was that friend who flexed so much on Instagram but remained broke in real life. The vibes were strong. The aesthetics looked perfect, but things were far from what it seemed. Established in 2018, Inter Miami pulled up to the MLS in 2020 like the new cool kids on the block. Their debut season in 2020 finished 10th in the East. Playoffs? They didn't last a single episode. So what did Beckham do? He called his boy Phil Neville. Yeah, that Phil Neville to take charge in 2021, and guess what? It got worse. 11th place. So they tried to play the big name game. Gonzalo Higuain walked in first. Then Blaise Matuidi and Kieran Gibbs followed, but all they got was burnt toast and a cheating scandal. And when it came to off-the-pitch matters, the club wasn't a big deal. Yeah, they were worth about $585 million, which sounds cool, but in the MLS, that's just middle of the pack. They had a few sponsorship deals, nothing major, nothing people were talking about. On social media, the numbers weren't impressive either. Instagram had around 1 million followers, Twitter barely touched 190,000. In Miami itself, they were fighting for attention. The Heat were big. Other sports names were doing their thing, and Inter Miami felt like the small kid at the party. It didn't feel like something people had to see. They had big dreams. Bex, the whole image of being cool, but none of it was clicking. And then, out of nowhere, something happened that nobody saw coming. The kind of move that flipped everything upside down and made the whole world look their way.
Leo Messi will not join Barcelona or Al-Hilal. He has decided to join Inter Miami. Leo Messi will play in MLS. The agreement has been reached after thinking on all the possibilities, after trying to find a way with Barcelona as priority. For Leo Messi, the decision has been made, and it's Inter Miami. More will follow in the next hours. This is a huge deal, an historical deal for MLS and for Leo Messi. The agreement is imminent, but the decision has been made. Leo Messi to Inter Miami. Here we go.
Now you've got to admit, nobody expected this move. Lionel Messi leaving Europe for the MLS? That sounded like something out of a football fan's wild dream. The guy had the world at his feet. Offers were pouring in, and not just any offers, massive, mind-blowing ones. You've probably heard about that Saudi deal, right? Well, if you didn't, here's what it was at the time. Messi was offered a $400 million per year deal with Al-Hilal. If he had signed that, he would have been the highest paid athlete on the planet. And guess what? He said no, because he really was onto something bigger. He didn't just want to grow his bank account, but have a legacy that is far bigger than anything. And so, for him, Miami was the chosen destination to fulfill that. Miami gave him something way bigger than money, and there is nothing more powerful than building the future of football in an entire continent. South America, on the other hand, is widely known as the home of football, but the Messi-Miami connection could flip all of that on its head. Now here's where things get wild. This wasn't your regular football contract. This was chess, not checkers. Sure, Messi was going to earn a salary, but that was the least exciting part of the deal. And as for how Beckham convinced Messi about the Miami project, this guy deserves a round of applause. Back in 2007, he pulled off one of the smartest clauses in football history by making a deal to buy into Miami for peanuts compared to its real value. So when he sat down with Messi, it wasn't just a sales pitch, it was a promise backed by experience. Beckham basically said, "I did it, you can too, but bigger," and Messi believed him. But here's where it gets wild. The moment Messi signed, the numbers went absolutely insane. See, this wasn't just a contract, but more of a chess move. Messi got a future ownership stake, a cut of Apple streams, and a slice of every pink and black jersey sold. Messi was joining the MLS, specifically to build an empire. He was thinking of a cultural takeover, the same kind Beckham built after his LA Galaxy move. What happens when the greatest player of all time decides to join a team nobody saw coming? That's exactly what went down when Inter Miami CF announced Lionel Messi on a 2.5-year deal on July 15, 2023. His debut on July 21, 2023 against Cruz Azul in the League's Cup was a full-on event. At the Inter Miami Stadium that night, you had big shots like Kim Kardashian, LeBron James, Serena Williams, Mark Anthony, and of course, David and Victoria Beckham soaking it all in. And Messi doing Messi things.
Messi!
A last-minute free-kick winner from the GOAT, and suddenly, Miami was buzzing like Coachella. After that first game, the celebrity sightings didn't slow down. You could see Selena Gomez sitting side by side with Leonardo DiCaprio, or Tom Holland dapping up Idris Elba, and you just know football had finally invited the entire Hollywood. People weren't just coming for football, they were coming to see who would show up. The Messi influence could not be ignored, and he made Miami the most Googled football club in the world for 3 straight months. The city itself got a Messi makeover. Wynwood, already famous for street art, became home to several Messi murals. One by Argentinian artist Maximiliano Bañasco, showing Messi in his pink Inter Miami kit, became an instant selfie magnet. Another, near Weser Sur Brewing Co., painted by Vice City 1896 supporters, went viral on Instagram in days. Even Miami Beach got in on the action, with murals outside boutique hotels and cafes, making Messi part of the city's visual identity. And it wasn't just murals. Clubs and bars jumped on the Messi wave. Miami's nightlife started hosting Messi-themed nights, from exclusive pop-up parties to themed cocktail menus at places like LIV and 11. Adidas opened pop-up shops, Hard Rock International launched Messi-themed menu items, and restaurants in Brickell and Wynwood reported packed houses on game nights. Miami was officially a city where football, pop culture, and nightlife collided. Every viral clip, every TikTok dance celebrating Messi's goals made Miami feel like the coolest place on the planet. Well, I mean, Miami has always been a cool place to vacation, but Messi showing up in town, fans from all over, especially from Argentina, are booking flights to witness the spectacle in person. Airlines like Aerolíneas Argentinas have added more trips, meaning hotel and restaurants are now hosting sold-out Argentina nights to accommodate the influx. Messi didn't just join Inter Miami, he transformed a city. From packed stadiums to Wynwood murals, from TikTok trends to celebrity courtside seats, Miami became a football culture hotspot overnight. The numbers are there to prove it, but the real proof? You feel it walking down Ocean Drive on game night, scrolling through Instagram, or spotting someone wearing Messi's pink jersey in a cafe. Miami has leveled up, and Messi made it happen. And if you thought Messi just changed Miami's vibe, wait until you see what he did to the game itself. This is where the ripple turns into a tidal wave. With multiple viral goals, 2 trophies, and the record as the club's all-time top scorer, Lionel Messi has not only transformed Inter Miami since he arrived 2 years ago, he's also boosted Miami's economy and elevated American football as a whole. Since he arrived, the numbers have backed up the hype without stealing the spotlight. Merch sales have gone wild. topping Fanatics charts across all sports and selling 50 times more than the day before Messi signed. His jersey alone broke records, beating Ronaldo, LeBron, and Brady. Tickets for his debut jumped over 1,000%, averaging $712. Apple TV's MLS Season Pass shot from 700,000 subscribers to almost 1 million. And talking about the online side of things, Inter Miami's Instagram followers skyrocketed from approximately 900,000 in early June 2023 to over 15 million by September 2023. These days, it's the most followed MLS team on Instagram with 17.7 million followers. TikTok went even crazier with 12.2 million followers, making the club the most followed North American sports team out there. Other MLS teams aren't left out of the fun either. In the 2024-25 season, MLS teams reportedly earned more than $80 million in extra revenue when Inter Miami played away games, thanks to dynamic ticket pricing and heightened demand. It has become something of a norm to see Miami itself set record attendance numbers for US football matches when they pull up in town. All of this because of one man. Take, for example, in April 2025, when Inter Miami faced Chicago Fire FC. 62,358 fans showed up to Soldier Field in Chicago to watch Inter Miami, marking the city's largest attendance for a football match. Shortly after the game, Miami played at Columbus Crew in front of 60,614 fans, the largest home crowd in Crew history and the biggest non-NFL crowd in Huntington Bank Field Stadium's history. And then there's the cultural side of things, which is honestly just as crazy as the numbers. Youth football in the US is booming right now. Football academies are packed and kids are signing up like never before. Mario Kempes, the OG from Argentina's 1978 World Cup team, who's lived in the US for years, even pointed it out himself in an interview with FIFA, saying, "Messi's influence shows in the growing number of academies. The biggest improvement has come at youth level, where kids can now look up to the best player in the world here and relate to him." So you've got this perfect mix. Kids getting inspired to play, communities buzzing, stadiums packed, and the league making serious money. Messi isn't just a player anymore. He's an event, a movement. The big question now is whether Miami and the league can keep it going once Messi eventually steps away. But for now, it's safe to say he's already changed the game in ways nobody could have predicted. Miami has never been the same since Messi arrived, and honestly, we're just getting started. Messi transformed Inter Miami into one of the hottest clubs in the world right now, but he isn't the only one spinning football identity. Hit subscribe and get ready for our next story. You don't want to miss out on the next football culture wave.